Well, Performance Basics class. Today we're going to focus on mastering the fundamentals of movement, just learning how to set ourselves up for success, how to go through a proper warm-up. So we're going to focus heavily on mobility, stability, and activation type movements. We will go into some strength as well, and we're going to learn how to tie that workout up with some rehabilitation and some regeneration. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some mobility, starting with the thoracic spine, so upper back, shoulders, hips, and we're going to focus on the ankles as well. So we're going to start on the floor. So we're going to stay on our side. Bring those knees up towards your chest. One hand's going to come on top of the other. From this position, we're going to open up like a book. Reach up towards the ceiling. If you can, try to go a little bit farther. And relax that arm onto the floor. So we're going to do 3 reps on each side. Focus on your breathing here. So again, we're working on mobility first. We're starting with upper back, shoulder area. We want to make sure we're moving well here first. Good. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. So same thing on the other side. So the closer you have the knees up to your chest, the more you're going to feel. So if you need to back off, bring those knees down a little bit. If not, bring those knees as close as you can up to your chest. Again, we're going 3 reps on this side. Good, 1 more. All right, come back to that starting position. We're going to roll on up to our hands and knees. So we're going to try to get a little bit more motion through the shoulders. So essentially what we'll be doing now is a controlled articular rotation, which is going to be our hand coming up, arm coming up, rotate that palm away, circle back, down, and behind. So we're going to do that on our hands and knees. So go ahead, stack the shoulders on top of the wrists, elbows. We're going to reach forward, stay nice and straight here. Come around, rotate all the way down to our side. So we're going to start again. Palms are facing towards us. When we get to this position, rotate that thumb down towards the floor. Reach, rotate all the way around. And 1 more on this side. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So keep a nice flat back as we do this. Reaching forward, thumb is up towards the ceiling. We're going to rotate that thumb down. Bring the arm all the way behind. So again, 3 reps here. Nice and controlled for this full range of motion. We don't want there to be any type of pinching. So if there is, just come out at more of an angle. We'll work through it. All right, so now that we're in this position, we're going to move down to the hips. So what I want us to do is just go little pelvic tilt. So you're going to arch the lower back and then tuck the tailbone under. And that's the only thing that we're moving. So now loosening up lower back here, hips area. Keep the upper back nice and still. Play around with this movement for a little bit. If you're having difficulty, bring it on down to the floor. Bend the knees. Practice bringing that low back off the floor. So creating space. And tuck the tailbone under, nice and flat. So you can also keep hands on hip bones as we go forward and back. So just learning how to control our hips, get movement down in that region. few more, then we're going to move it up into a dynamic movement, our hip 90-90s. Good, so let's go ahead and sit on up. So what we're going to do, sitting in our bear position here, just drop those knees down. That helps you find your position a little bit quicker. So now that we're in this position, try your best to square those hips with the front leg. And if you're having difficulty with getting this lead leg onto the ground, you can either put a pillow underneath it or just kind of lean to the side. We don't want any pinching again in this movement. The more comfortable you get with it, you'll get a little bit more range, room in the hip joint. We're essentially working up towards sitting up nice and tall. So let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing on this side. Don't force yourself into a position that hurts. Good, so we're going to go back, so switching back and forth now. Getting a little bit more dynamic with it. Try to move without hands. If you need the hands, just bring them behind. Lay those hips down, or knees down rather. Good, so after we do a few more reps of these, we're going to move down to the ankles. So we started up in the shoulder area, upper back. We move down to the hips. We're going to move all the way down to the ankles because those are important. Good, so actually sitting in this position now, I want you guys to go ahead and just grab onto the knee. Hold that guy nice and stable. We're going to draw circles with the ankle, all right? But we don't want the shin to move. We just want the ankle doing all the work. So go ahead, make circles here, nice and controlled. I'm holding my knee still so it doesn't want to take control. This is a great way to isolate the ankle. So we're going one direction right now. Good, so let's go ahead and switch directions. You might find one way is just a lot harder. And if you can't get that full range, just try to initiate it. Keep practicing. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So just go ahead, sit wherever you're comfortable. We're going to go circles on the other ankle. Bring those toes up. Rotate foot out. Press that gas pedal down. Scoop the foot up. Good. So we're moving through a slight line of tension here. And we're switching directions. So after this, we're moving on to stability. So we worked through some mobility drills. Now we're going to work on stability with the shoulders, lower back, and the knees. So we created some space. Now we're going to stabilize it and get ready to work. So we're going to go onto hands and knees. And we're going to work on pushing away from the floor here so my elbows are staying straight. All right, lifting off the floor onto the toes. We're going to go lift off. Try to hold that position for 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. And we're going to switch. Opposite arm, opposite leg. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. If your balance doesn't allow for this, that's okay. Just practice bringing up one arm, other leg. All right? So we're going to go through this for a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and give me one more. Lift off with opposite arm, opposite leg. 3, 2, 1. Good. So we're going to move down to our back. We're going to bring both legs up nice and tall. The goal here is to control one leg all the way down to the floor with no lower back pain or letting that back just come off the floor. So keep a braced pillar. So before we get started, take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale. Tuck that rib cage down to the belly button. Raise both of your legs. Flex the toes, and we're just going to drop one leg. Good, switch sides, nice and controlled. So you should feel your whole pillar engaged. Try to lower nice and slow. We want to make sure we have that mind-body connection with our pillar before we get started with our workout. It's also how we link upper body to lower body is the pillar. So really try to emphasize that, prepping that during this time. Good, last one. Good, so now we're going to move on to stabilizing the knee joint. So let's go ahead and grip the floor with our toes, spread those toes out. What I want us to do, bring those arms out to the side. We're going to hinge here forward. Try to hold this position, so we're kind of in a plank position. So we're hinging, try to hold, thumbs are up. 3, 2, 1, bring it up. Let's go ahead and same foot, spread those toes on the floor, big toe, pinky toe, heel, ready? Hinge at the hip. Try to make sure we keep both hips facing down towards the floor like headlights. 3, 2, 1, bring it up. Let's go, one more. You might also feel this in your glute as well. 3, 2, 1. Good, switch sides. So same thing on the other leg. Spread those toes. Go ahead with me, thumbs out, up, arms out. So the knee joint is in between the ankle and the hip. It's very important to have a strong foot, strong hip, so we can have a strong knee. So this is a great way to strengthen that, stabilize the knee. 3, 2, 1. Good, one more. Go ahead and reposition if you need. Find your balance, take your time. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, so we moved through mobility, stability. Next, we're going to do some activation drills. So we're going to go ahead and start with some glute activation. So go ahead and come back down to the floor. We're going to go single leg glute bridges. So with me, drive one heel through the floor. Bring the other knee up towards your chest. We're going to bridge, squeeze, and lower. So we have 10 reps here. Good. 10 reps each leg. Let's go ahead with 3, 2, 1. Good, switch sides, reposition, dig that other heel into the floor. 3, 2, drive up. 10 reps on this side. Keep your toes flexed, it helps create that full body tension. 3, 2, give me one more. 1. Excellent. All right, so one more drill I want to do before we get into more dynamic movements is we're going to go hamstring walkouts. So we're going to bridge up, double leg glute bridge. We're going to walk it out just a few steps. We don't want to feel it in the lower back. And bring it back up. All right, guys, so we're going to go 6 walkouts if we can. 4 to 6. Let's see how we feel. Walk it up, bridge it up, walk it out. That's 1, 2, keep those hips level. 3, 4, we got 6. That's 5, let's go. 1 more. 6, and slowly bring it on down. All right, so we're gonna get into some more dynamic stuff. Get that heart rate up a little bit. Get everything moving, linking the body together now. So with me, we're gonna go opposite arm, opposite leg, marching. So drive those knees up towards chest. So you have an option to stay here, or we can increase it with the skips. Springing off the floor, nice soft knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're gonna go into more neural activation, which means getting that brain firing, getting it linked with the whole body now. So we're gonna move from up here. When I say go, you drop down into this base position. So we're gonna go up, drop. You're gonna throw those arms behind you. Chest is up. So I'm gonna give you a ready call and a go call. All right? Ready? Go. Good, let's go again. Ready, go. Good. All right, we're gonna make it a little bit more challenging now. So when I say ready, and then I say go, and then I say go again, we're gonna go fast feet for 5 seconds. All right, 2 rounds of this. Fast feet, slow hands. All right, ready, go, go. Fast feet, slow hands. All right, let's go one more. So, ready, go, go. Fast feet, slow arms, 2, 1, and relax. All right, so that is mobility, stability, activation. We're gonna move into a strength circuit. So, we're gonna start with a side pillar bridge. What that's gonna look like, come on down to your side, bend that bottom leg, other leg is nice and straight. We're gonna bridge up here, creating a nice straight line from head to toe. Push up into that shoulder, the lat is engaged, all that side tissue, everything is working right now. We're holding in this position. Keep going, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, so switch sides. So go ahead, get your leg nice and bent here, creating a nice straight line, head to toe. 3, 2, 1, bridging up. Good, keeping that toe flexed towards your face so it helps create full body tension. Driving away from the floor with that elbow here. Staying nice and strong here. Good, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring it down. We're gonna stand up, we're gonna work on a hip hinge pattern to a deep squat. So I want you guys to go where you're comfortable with this deep squat. All right, so we're gonna go big reach overhead, hinge those hips back. So practice that with me, sit those hips back, create a nice straight tabletop. Try to reach towards the feet if you can. Pull yourself down into a deep squat. So we're trying to focus on chest up, spread those knees apart with the elbows. Good, so we're gonna extend those legs again. Reach up nice and tall. So let's go through that about 3 more times. Sit those hips back. Good, that's our hip hinge. Try to forward fold, deep squat. So when we go into our hip hinge, imagine like there's a bar stool behind you. You're trying to reach for it. So I have a slight bend in the knee. I'm sitting back. Good. Keep going. If you just want to work on your hip hinging here, that's okay. So you can just sit back, reach, and bring it back up. All right, and we're going to move into just your basic air squat. So keep those feet underneath the hips. Grip the floor with your toes. Just going to sit back, come down to just a 90-degree with the legs. We're going for 30 seconds here. So we're trying to kind of pry the ground or screw those feet into the floor almost. Keeping our chest up. So we're going through a mental checklist here. What are my feet doing? Are my glutes working? Is my chest up? Good, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna bring it down to the floor, back to our hand in foot position. So coming right up on to the feet here, pushing away from the floor. We're gonna go rows. So try to squeeze that elbow back towards your hip and bring it back down. We're alternating sides for 30 seconds. So squeeze and bring it down. Staying nice and strong through this position. Keep it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, so we're gonna conclude this with a little bit of regeneration, which means we're learning how to just cool down, restore that range of motion, and just make sure we do another full body scan here. So we're gonna go into a half kneeling quad hip flexor stretch. Go ahead and get in your half kneeling position. Tilt that tailbone under, slightly lean forward here. So squeezing the glute in the back to open up the front of the hip. This is a great stretch to do. You sit a lot. So again, the focus of this class, go ahead and switch sides. So we're learning how to go through a proper warm-up before we get started with our actual workout. Try to take mental notes of how you're feeling in your warm-up. What do you need a little bit more time on? Good, switch sides. Chest is up nice and tall here. Good, one more on the other side. So again, keep that toe flexed if you can. If you need, put a pillow underneath the knee. Good, go ahead and bring it on down to the floor. Bending the knees now. We're gonna cross one leg over the other into a figure 4 position, but try to get those knees close together. Then we're going to bring the knees towards the center of our chest. You're going to feel an excellent stretch on the back side of the leg. Good. Focus on deep breathing through our stretches as well. So big deep breath in through your nose. Bring it all the way down into your belly. And we're going to switch sides here. So again, if you feel a pinching in the hips at all, make those knees a little bit farther from each other. If not, try to get them a little closer. Good, then we're going to finish up with a little bit of a child's pose. So come on down, hands and knees. Reach the back up towards the ceiling and sit back into the heels. We're going to try to make ourselves as long as possible. Reach those hands, walk them forward if you can. So we're stretching out lats, lower back. We're just trying to get as long as possible. Spread those fingertips and just sink your chest down into the mat. Focus on just staying here for a moment with a nice deep breath. come out whenever you're ready. Alright guys, well thank you so much for joining our first ever Performance Basics class. I really appreciate it. I hope it was helpful. Again, this is just a class to help us master the fundamentals of movement and learning the correct components of a workout, of a warm-up before your workout. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys stay hydrated. And a quick announcement is we do have virtual stretch break